Hello, folks. This is Dave Montgomery, or as it says on the screen, Coach Dave Montgomery. I want to thank you for being on the call today. And I want to talk to you about our opportunity with a company called Lynx. Lynx is a very motivated and moving company in the spaces that we're in. And I want to talk to you about that. And so with that being said, let's move right on into it. Folks, I've been in the insurance and investment business now for about 43 years. And I want to talk to you about mentorship. Mentorship is people that have trained you and people that have taught you and taken you under their wing, maybe through their lives, through your life, and shared ideas with you. One of the things I learned in mentorship is if you're going to make money in these United States, you have to have a product that has a winning edge. So as we go through this short presentation, I want you to look at that product and you think if it has a winning edge. The next thing is you have to have is a system, tools to duplicate yourself. How can you do that? There's always hurdles, there's always barriers, there's always things in the way, and it's hard to duplicate yourself. So we're going to share a system with you, and then distribution, outlets. How do you distribute the product? Do you do it just by yourself, or you can, or do you do it with others along the way, with a team? You know, teamwork is amazing when you look at what goes on in our sports arenas, in our high school arenas, our college arenas. Teamwork is important. And those are outlets. So we're going to talk about that. And then the last thing, you can have all the first three. But folks, if you don't have heart, you're not going to get it done. Because you're going to have hurdles that are going to stop you. And you're going to have walls that are put up and barriers that are put up. And people pulling you down and pulling you back in. Well, I got a phone call from a buddy of mine, a young man that I trained in the business. And he said, Mr. Dave, you're one of my mentors. He said, can you get excited one more time? Now, I'm 68 years old. He said, can you get excited one more time? And I said, well, that offended me. I know I can get excited one more time. Show me a product, show me a system, show me distribution, and I got a heart. And I teach you, if somebody stepped on your heart many times, I will teach you through time how to get that heart back working the way it worked when you were younger. So let's talk about product. Our product was born during the coronavirus. Every person on this call, if you lived in the United States in 2020, you went through the coronavirus. So there's a product out there called the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, also known as the CARES Act, and it's a $2.2 trillion economic stimulus bill that was passed by the 116th U.S. Congress and signed into law by the then President Donald Trump on March 27th of 2020. $2.2 trillion that was headed at the Coronavirus Relief Fund for business owners in response to the economic fallout of the COVID disease. So that's our product. We got $2.2 trillion at our disposal. And you know what we're going to do with it? We're going to take it to business owners. And let me show you how. Inside of the CARES Act, there was three pieces, basically, three big pieces to get that $2.2 trillion out to business owners with W-2 employees in these United States. The first one, many of you will know, it was called the PPP loan. The PPP loan stands for the Payroll Protection Plan. And that was instituted and put in place. If you were a business owner, you could go to a local bank, you could go to a local credit union, and you could apply for that PPP loan. Well, that's come and gone. And many people got hundreds of thousands, if not more, money from the PPP loans. And that's over. And then came along the EIDL loan, which was called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and that came and gone. And that was also instituted by banks and savings and loans and credit unions. And now there's one piece left for the business owners in America. And folks, there's over 12 million small businesses in America. If you're going to do a product and you're going to give away money, because that's what we're doing, we're showing people what we call found money they didn't know they had. In other words, if you go to a business owner and you say, hey, have you won the lottery lately? And they say, no, today might be your lucky day. And through the ERC, or the Employee Retention Tax Credit, we can show business owners how they can receive up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. This is how it started. In March of 2020, business owners could take a PPP loan or an ERC, but they couldn't take both. So the path of least resistance was to run down to the bank and get that PPP loan instead of trying to learn what the ERC was. Now remember, $2.2 trillion in that account, and people are taking money out and it's whittling down, right? Well, there was not enough ERC distributions, so Congress increased the amount of the ERC up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. So you couldn't do both yet, but if you wanted to do one or the other, you could. Well, the bank was right there, so let's run down to it rather than trying to jump through hoops on this other thing. And so there was still not enough over the next course of the next few months, not enough ERC distributions. So businesses, they changed the law, Congress changed the law and said that businesses that took out the PPP can now qualify for the ERC in November of 21. Now, folks, I run across this all the time. I'll talk to a business owner. He said, my CPA said I didn't qualify. My accountant said I didn't qualify. Folks, that was the old law. Now we have the new law. And if they took out the PPP loan, it does not matter. It comes into a factor, okay? But it doesn't matter. They can still qualify for the Employee Retention Tax Credit. And so companies can receive up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. Now, folks, I'm not a genius, but I know that if they had 10 W-2 employees that they kept employed and paid during COVID, that's $260,000. Now, imagine a small company having $260,000 dropped in their checking account, right? Drop right in. It's not a loan. It doesn't have to be repaid. There's nothing attached to it. They can do what they'd like to with that money. $260,000. How long do they have to work, an employee with 10 companies, to see $260,000 of profit? And if they had 20, let's talk about 520,000. Or if they had 40, let's talk about $1 million plus. Folks, that's what they can receive. And you know what? They're using people like you and me to go out and tell this story. And so we're trying to build our team. And we want to help build your team if you choose to go down this road with us. And we'll show you how. So welcome. Welcome to our National Links and ERC marketing team call. That's what this is. This is our National Links call. And so we're very excited about that. But here's what we believe. We believe that no business in America should have its ERC tax benefits withheld from them. We offer a tax credit solution for businesses with 1 to 500 W-2 employees. And folks, there's a lot of companies like Links and ERC specialists out in the marketplace, and they're going out and they're telling people, listen, we'll do companies with 10 or more, but we're not doing 9 or less. Well, folks, there's 8 million businesses with 9 or less and 4 million with 10 or more to 500. I don't want you to have to worry about when you walk into a business. I don't have you to worry about how many W-2 employees they have. You just have to worry about, do they have W-2 employees? And did they do the PPP loan? And have they done the ERC yet? And if they haven't done the ERC yet, you got a fish on the line. You got a lottery winner on the line that you can show them how they can get found money that's not a loan, that has no encumbrances. Folks, you can help save some businesses from going under in the United States. And as I can say it to you, you can get paid very handsomely for that. Now, ERC Specialist is our underwriting team. Links is the sales force. Our underwriting team, where we send the ERC documents to, is called ERC Specialists. They've been in business 30 plus years. They've done over 40,000 businesses already to date in the ERC space. Are they the largest? I don't know that they're the largest, but I do know they're in the top 3 or 4, and I'm very proud to be part of this. Now, businesses can qualify for ERC if their business experienced any of the following in the qualifying quarters of 20 and 2021. Did they have a full or partial shutdown? Well, if you know a health club owner or a gym owner, full shutdown. If you know a fingernail place or a beauty shop or a barber shop, full shutdown. If you know a church or a nonprofit organization, partial shutdowns. You had to stay 6 feet apart so the church couldn't be filled, right? And so do they qualify? Nonprofits? Yes, they do. If you had supply chain interruptions, folks, my wife is in the kitchen and bath business, and when she orders cabinets right now, they 3 or 4 months out before they can even get them. There's an interruption there. Inability to work with vendors. Some vendors have cut their products that they can get out to you in half, can qualify. Inability to access equipment. Reduction of services or goods. Cut their products in half, send them out. Loss of revenue. Yeah, folks, if you lost money during COVID, you can qualify. But you know what else? People tell me, oh, I can't qualify. I made money during COVID. If any of those other things are in the way, he can qualify. Doesn't matter if they made money or lost money, folks. Don't let people tell you they don't qualify till you find out that they truly do not. Cancellation of key meetings. Folks, the last 20 years of my career, I've been doing seminars in restaurants, and I'd bring people in groups, and I'd present to them, and then I'd feed them, right? And let them tell me if they're interested in my products. I couldn't do any of that. I would go to 2 or 3 learning seminars per year, and they shut those down. And last but not least, operational changes to accommodate sanitation and social distancing. If you have a storefront and you put up a barrier, accommodating social distancing, you qualify. So please understand, folks, just because your CPA or your accountant or somebody told you in the past you don't qualify, it's a whole new day in the ERC space. And we need team members like yourself to tell our story, to tell the story to help those businesses. What does it take to qualify? Well, you're going to take a 6-question thing. Your name, your email address, your business, who the owner of the business is. And then you're going to fill out how many employees you had in 20 and 21. It's going to give you a number. And if you want to go from there, you're going to have to get some documents together. Your quarterly IRS 941 forms for 19, 20, and 21. Your detailed summary reports for 20 and 21. And then if you took out the PPP loan and it was forgiven, there's a form you were given. It's called a 3508S. Has got to go in with those documents. And all that comes into play. We have our own proprietary software that takes every state, every city, every law that was passed through COVID for those entities. And we know where it is. And it formulates what you would qualify for, and you'll get a number. And that number, I promise you, you'll probably love. And so links. What are companies actually getting? What are they getting when they get it back? Yes, he can qualify up to $26,000 per W-2 employee in a perfect world. But we all know the world's not perfect. We all know there's circumstances and things inside of every company that can change those formulas. And so we're average $17,000 per employee. So if a company had 10 employees, they're going to average getting back $170,000. If they had 20, $340,000. Those are the averages. Some are below, some are above. So far, our average business is getting back $225,000 from the IRS. That's a lot of money, folks, to be dropped into your business account. Imagine if you're not in business, you're just a personal guy that works down at the local store, and they drop $225,000 in your account. Would that make a difference to your life? Well, it makes a tremendous difference to these small companies. And we want to recruit you to help us tell the story, because there's not enough people to tell the story. Isn't that a wonderful thing? But as I said before, you get paid very handsomely in order to tell this story. Now, here's 4 examples. Business number 1, retail shop in the mall, 9 employees, got back $68,000. And you say, Dave, that's not 17,000 times 9 is not 68. I told you, folks, there's factors that go into play. A small retail shop in the mall with 9 employees is probably going to have 1, maybe 2 full-time employees, and the rest part-time. And they don't make the kind of money the full-time people make, right? And so they're going to get back $68,000. And you say, that's not a lot of money. To a small retail shop in the mall, how much product do they have to move to have $68,000 in profit dropped in their checking account? We don't even know. They don't even know. Well, they probably know, but I don't know. Second business, local restaurant, had 5 locations, 63 employees, getting back $1.2 million. Third business, local catering company, 15 employees, getting back $262,000. And then the fourth one, business, a trucking company, 180 employees, getting back $3.1 million. Now, folks, I don't want to sell you on a pie in the sky dream like most companies do or try to. Let me tell you what, let's look at business number 1 and let's look at business number 3. If you did one of those on the average each month, business number 1, you'd make $2,000 on. Business number 2, you'd make $36,000 on. Business number 3, you'd make $7,875 on. Now, you know what I'd make on it? Oh, my goodness. I'd make the exact same thing, because this is a direct marketing company. Nobody's on a bigger contract than you're on. Nobody. Day one. So let's say you did one business number 1, one business number 3. That means you would make $9,915 this month. Now, folks, we're like every other business that you've looked at in the past and that you've heard about in the past. If you don't do anything, you're going to get nothing, 0. I'm not saying that every person on this call can make $10,000 a month. I am saying if they go to work and they get a business the size of number 1 and a business the size of number 3 and give them the tax credit money back, that they're going to make $9,915 that month. And if they do 2 of those each once a month, they're going to make almost $20,000. Now, here's what's great about this. No licenses, no sign-up fee, no state boundaries. If you like this, you can go to work today. And if you find something like the trucking company and they had 180 employees, that check that you would receive for that one company would be $93,000. Folks, I've never seen a business like this in my career. Do we have a product? Yes. What are we showing? What are we doing? We're showing people how they can find found money? Do we have a commission structure that pays you equitably and fairly, more than I've ever seen in my career? So here's a road to a sale or a road to a refund, because that's what it is. It's a refund from overpayment during COVID. And so you make an introduction and send your client to your personal website. When you sign up, day one, you're going to have your own personal website. We're going to teach you how to use it and how to move it around. And you're going to send this to a client, a prospective client. This right here is a 6-minute video explaining what the retention credit is. They come up here, they click on begin qualifying, and when they do, the client will fill out the questionnaire and get the estimate right then. Now, what did it cost them? Nothing. How much time? Maybe 6 minutes to watch a video, a minute and a half to fill out the information, and they get an estimate of what they'll get back. The client uploads, once he proceeds through it, he will upload the documents that I told you he's got to have in a secure portal. And then 5 to 10 days later, the final approval is generated. And 4 to 6 months, the funds are received. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Now, with that being said, you're going to get a back office. Now, folks, I've looked at several companies in the ERC space, and none of them that I've seen has as robust a back office as Links. You get a submitted, you have a submitted business report. You're looking at this page under this. You have your home page, you have all your representatives on your team, who they brought on board on your team if you choose to see them. You have a CRM. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. You have administration, you got settings, you got the company that applied, how much they're getting back, how they're going to pay it. They're going to pay it now. I'll share that with you in just a minute. And it just, as you add clients, you just track it and track it. As you add agents, you can track where they are and what they're doing. And any correspondence that happens with your client, you get the note, you get the notes on it as far as what's going on. And I haven't seen that in any space, any ERC space that's out there. Very robust back office. The fee schedule. What does the client pay for us to do that? There's no upfront cost to the client. When he gets his money, the business will pay 15% of the total tax credit from the escrow account. What does that mean? That means if he's getting back $200,000, let's say, we're going to charge him 15% on the $200,000 or $30,000. He has another choice, though, if he chooses, that he can get a 33% discount if he wants to write a check up front. And that will save him 5% of that fee, or $5,000 on every 100. So in that $200,000 refund range, it's going to save him of the 30, it's going to save him 10, and he would pay 20. Now that's his choice if he has money to pay that. Doesn't have to. So let's look at this. In business, in the ERC space, of the companies that I've seen out there, there's companies that have an upfront cost, $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, and then they'll go to work. We'll go to work right away. We'll get all the paperwork, help you get the paperwork done. We'll help you send it in. And then when the check comes from the IRS, it'll go to our escrow agent. The escrow agent will take the 15% fee out that we charge and send the client into his account the difference that week. So now that we've gone through what we'll do for the client, let's go through what we'll do for you and I on the compensation. Now understand, everybody starts off at zero. If they do zero, they make zero. If they decide to go to work, then at that point, every person that comes on board is a sales affiliate. Myself, all the way through the top, all the way through the bottom of the company. So if you decide to build distribution and outlets other than yourself For every person you bring in direct, you'll make a 4% override. Second level, you'll make 3. Third level, you'll make 2. And fourth level, you'll make 1. Now let's break that down into dollars and cents so you can understand. Let's say we had a customer that had $200,000 credit to the business. Our fee of 15% is $30,000. So if you did that sale, if you came on board and you showed them how to get that refund, you would make 20% of the $30,000 fee, or you would make $6,000 as a brand new agent, as a seasoned agent, as a veteran agent. If you personally do the sale, you make 20%. Okay. Now, let's say that you are the rep and you were brought in by Joe. Joe is going to make a $1,200 override on that sale. Joe was brought in the business by Betty. Betty's going to make on the second level $900 on that particular program. And then Betty was brought in by Sue, and Sue's going to make a $600 override at the third level. And then Sue was brought in by Bill, and Bill's going to make a $300 override on that level. Now, folks, let me try to explain this to you. If you can go out and build a sales team, and all that sales team goes and drives down, and you end up with 100 people on your fourth level, the lowest pay, and they do a below average sale that month, each one of them, 100 sales, you make $300 per override. That's $30,000. And what did you do? You brought in some people. What if they were on your first level? That's $120,000 override. Will we pay you to build a team? You betcha we'll pay you to build a team. So those of you that are builders and recruiters, you might not be the greatest salesman, but you know how to build and recruit? We can plug you in the system. And we believe that this can be legacy changing money for you and your family. Now, we have folks today, 10 months into the program, that are making 5 figures, 6 figures. Some of them have even made 7 figures in 10 months. Now, is that everybody? No, it's not most. Not most. Because people have had their heart ripped out of their chest because of COVID, because of things in their life. And at one time in their life, they wanted to be somebody, but it got taken away from them. Folks, we can put that back in. This is the first business I've ever been in that in April of 2025, 18 months from now, the ERC space is over. But we have some stuff coming behind that and along with it, in my opinion, will make you more money long range than the ERC will. And so we're very excited about that. So let's go back to that word mentorship again. Let's go back to the first page. Folks, this is the shortest presentation I've ever done. Do we have a product? Do we have a winning edge? We're giving away found money. We're showing them how they can win the lottery today based on their business. Do we have a system? Tools to duplicate? Well, there's no sign-up fee. There's no licenses. There's no state boundaries. There's no barrier to entry. You know, you go home and you tell your spouse, listen, I'm getting in this other business over here. What's it cost? Nothing. Well, it's too good to be true. Yeah, but you can't believe the kind of money I'm going to make. Too good to be true. People will beat you down if you let them. Distribution. Do we have outlets? Folks, we got outlets. We need some more. That's my job. Try to help you build your team. That's why they call me Coach Dave. I want people to relate. Listen, this is a team. We can go out there and do this together, and we can help take America and help businesses in America survive. That's what the Coronavirus Relief Act was for. And yet they give you an opportunity, you and I an opportunity to go out there and help those businesses. Now, let's go back to the last thing. Let's go back to heart. Folks, can you get excited one more time? I hope you can. I really hope you can, because this program, the ERC program and links, can change your life and your family's life forever if you can get excited one more time. If you can reach down deep and go out and talk to some people that you normally wouldn't talk to. And so in closing, let me say this. As a business owner, if you're a business owner on this call, think about this. Can you think of any reason why you would not want to move forward to at least see how much money your business may qualify for? Can you think of any reason? Well, my CPA said, no, I didn't. Listen, would you like to know what you qualify for? And folks, we will work with that business owner to help him get qualified through his answers, not ours. As a representative, though, folks, if you're on this call, as a representative, can you think of any reason why you'd not want to move forward and get started immediately? Only business I've ever been in, I know when it's going to be over. The ERC opportunity is over, April of 2025. But in the last 3 months that I've been in this space, now I was semi-retired when I got in this. In the last 3 months in the pipeline, I've been able to put, if everything comes out the other end of the pipeline, I've been able to put 6 figures in every month for me and my family. I'm very excited about this, but I want some team members that can see this the way I see it, and they can get excited for their families also. So I want to thank you for taking your time and spending it with us the last 25 or 30 minutes. But please get back with the person that invited you to see this and this call and inform them, hey, Bill, I'm ready to go. Get me moving. Or at least let him know, Bill, I got a lot of stuff on my plate and I can't put anything else on it. Great. Great, Bill. Let me tell you what I want you to do. I want you to refer clients to me, and I'll go out and help them, and I'll pay you a percentage of what I make. Folks, thanks for your time once again. This is Coach Dave Montgomery in New York. Looking forward to seeing you on the next call.